Big exciting news to start your evening on a Saturday evening as a $1,200 stimulus check could be finalized in the next few days. A bill that puts a $1,200 stimulus check in millions of Americans' hands goes to a vote next week by Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley, or they're set to shut down the Senate and not allow a federal budget bill to be done. These are two senators who have the backing of Democrats across the Senate and potentially some other Republicans as well, saying, you know what, you folks haven't done anything for anyone for months and enough is enough. You're going to do a stimulus check or we're shutting down the federal government. Meantime, Congress is under fire tonight, minutes ago, with a major news scandal erupting about the inability of Congress to get money to people in need. And who are the people in need? The shipping and distribution hubs the vaccine for the virus going into the air minutes ago. If you don't know what's happening Saturday night, minutes ago the CDC officially approved the Pfizer vaccine, its final last step for emergency authorization, meaning the FedEx and the UPS trucks and planes can take off and start delivering the vaccines tonight and have them start arriving on Monday. But there's a problem. States are now warning they were not given enough money as promised by Congress for distribution, refrigeration, and transportation logistics to do the vaccine distribution. And immediately they're shouting, where is the money? We need the relief money. Sound familiar? It is. So where is Congress this weekend? Well, Nancy Pelosi, she took a vacation. She took another vacation. I mean, they take more vacations than I take hairstyles. It's just... But the good news is that on Monday, the Senate will resume with a real battled focus on only one thing. But they need to do three other things on top of that. Stimulus check, PUA extension, UI extension, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance. And the people that are telling them to do it, the reason why they're doing it, the reason why it's a front page issue is because of you, the Purple Power. And this is the show that did it. Evenings LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Evenings LALATE. I'm so glad you joined me in an exciting night in which we see the progress we have made across national lines, party lines, and we are literally at the finish line as legislators are about to put to a vote the push of that we started on this channel. No one was doing this. We did it. And now they're calling for a vote. A stimulus check next week. A vote. $1,200 for adults, $500 for children. This is the result of this channel and this channel's hashtag campaign and no one else. Hashtag CR for stimulus. We asked them to put stimulus in the CR. Then hashtag stimulus checks are shut down. And that's what they said last Friday. No one but you, me, and this channel did that. And now we need to do one other thing. Get PUA, UI, and eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance in it there, and we're good. We can go decorate the tree. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe, because no one's getting you money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. We're working around the clock, myself and the volunteers of this channel, to ensure you get money. If you're new to this channel and have never watched this channel before, let me explain to you why this channel is different. This is not a channel in which you're going to see me read news articles. Here's a news article. Here's a news article. You can go read yourself. You're not going to see me screen grab a CNBC News article and just put some headphones on and say, oh, that was interesting. Let me listen to some more. Oh, that was interesting. No, we're actually doing things for you on this channel. We're actually doing things for you. Earlier today, I had one viewer who was on the brink of homelessness trying to get things figured out. Minutes later, I got a comment from another volunteer who got a viewer big rent grants. We're doing things around the clock to help you. We're not sitting here and just reading news articles. This is not Mr. Rogers, but God bless him. I do love that man. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, a like on this video. In tonight's video, I'm going to go over why this shipment of vaccine viruses is showing the buffoonery of Congress once again. Vaccines for the virus, which we knew were going to take flight, go in the air around today or tomorrow, have been the topic of funding for months. And now we learn that some states are screaming at the top of their lungs saying we don't have enough money for storage, for distribution, for warehouses and logistic and for refrigeration. More about that in a second. And then I'll get to the details of the check, and then I'll get to all that other information you want. State grants, state stimulus, and $2,400 of SSI and SSDI. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here tonight, is that a $1,200 stimulus check will be called for a vote next week. It's all because of me and you. No one else did this, and no one else should take credit for it. It was no less than 2 weeks ago, which I urged the viewers of this channel to do a campaign, which I started on this channel called CR for Stimulus. Put stimulus in the CR. Put stimulus in the CR and get it pushed, because you'll never see stimulus until next year if you don't get them to deal with a deadline. And the deadline was December 11th. And so they pushed stimulus into the CR from both Republicans and Democrats. The only problem was that they did not have a stimulus check in there, and they didn't have an eviction moratorium, and they didn't have a mortgage forbearance. But slowly they started to put all those back in. Then things sort of unraveled, and viewers were sort of like, what's going on here? You need to start getting this done right now. And that's when I said, you know what? It's time to take it up a notch in the words of Emerald Lagasse. It's time to take the spicing up a notch. And what we did was we started the hashtag campaign. On this channel, I started the hashtag campaign, stimulus checks or shutdown. Stimulus checks or shutdown. It's a very loud message. It's basically saying you're not going to get a stimulus check if you don't give us a stimulus check. And that changed the focus right away. It came at a time in which a senator out of Louisiana, Cassidy, was making every darn excuse he could in the world for you not to give a stimulus check so he could give his buddies in big business as much money as they needed, $2 million of PPP. Yeah, let's give it to that. Let's give the airlines some more big money. Let's give rich hotel owners some more money. There's enough hotel rich owners that got money the last 3 times. They don't need more money. And Cassidy couldn't face the logistics of couldn't keep his story straight, whether or not it was for relief or for what was that other word he used? Stimulus. It's not for stimulus. It's for relief. It's not for relief. It's for stimulus. We don't have any money. We do have money. He absolutely had every story in the book about why he didn't want you to have a stimulus check. We might get to it in January. No, we might get to not reelecting you next year or whenever you come up. So at that point, we understood, wait a second, we need to make this more vocal. Stimulus check or shut down. Shut it down. Shut down the federal government. It's as simple as that. And suddenly, out of nowhere, the heavens opened. Joe Biden came out and said, stimulus check is back in play, folks. AOC, I'm not supporting this unless it's a stimulus check. I'm going to vote against the CR. Bernie Sanders, I'm going to vote against the CR. Josh Hawley, I'm going to vote against the CR. And then Josh Hawley started talking to the President of the United States, went to his office, spoke to him every single day for several days. And the President said, you know what, I'll do $1,200 or $2,000. You know what, I might veto it if it doesn't even have a stimulus check in there. It got really good. By that point, we still didn't have a bill for the CR. We didn't have a bill for anything. So Josh Hawley did the next step. He did what I did over several months ago. He wrote the bill. Hashtag LA write the bill, and now it's hashtag Josh write the bill. He wrote the bill. Very simple bill, 12 pages long. Wasn't a CR bill. It's a stimulus check bill. And in it, he said, hey, you know what? We need a stimulus check, so here you go. $1,200 adults, $500 children. And as simple as that. With that, what he next did is try to figure out, well, what do we do for to get this to a vote? So he spoke to Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders said, you know what? We're going to talk to Mitch and say, you know, we're going to block the CR from coming to a vote unless you do our bill for a stimulus check. And Mitch didn't like it. So Mitch gave an offer, and they accepted the offer. The offer was, you give me a 1-week extension for the CR, and next week, then we'll deal with it then. And they said, no, you know what? And these were the exact words of Bernie Sanders. You know what? We're going to block the CR next week if you don't do a stimulus check. We'll give you one last chance, but come next week, get ready, because we're blocking your continuing resolution. We're blocking your budget bill unless you do a stimulus check. And then everything worked. We're now in a procedural maneuvering that is absolutely delicious. It's basically saying the federal government could get shut down unless you do our bill first. Our bill first is about a stimulus check and UI extension and PUA and and eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. So how does this work? It basically works the following. You would get a UI extended to late January. You get a PUA extended to late January. You would get an eviction moratorium and you would get a mortgage forbearance. Both expire in December. Those will be extended out. Then you would get a stimulus check. And they need to fix the language for the stimulus check to ensure that all adults get it. It's as simple as that. Now, all that other stuff that Cassidy wants you to have doesn't need to happen. Doesn't need to happen. But tonight, we see a lot of problems of other things that do need to happen, like funding for the vaccine distribution. We've heard a lot of things about states need money so that they could pay their, I don't know, their painter to paint the Capitol Hill and pay the upholstery guy to fix the governor's chair because it's uncomfortable or something like that. Well, enough of that. It's time to start paying the things that need to be paid for that are emergency, like a vaccine that's in the air right today. Tonight, the vaccine is actually flying in the air. Well, it's not flying itself. It's being flown in the air. And it will start landing across the country on Monday. It got CDC approval late tonight to actually go into distribution. The final step of approval, it was approved. It now takes off. And distribution of vaccine and vaccinations will start on Monday. But there's a problem. There's a problem. States do not have enough money for refrigeration and distribution coming in the next couple of days. They have asked for more money. They have not gotten it. Do you think Congress is going to wake up? Goodness. How about the $2,400 of SSI and SSDI? Where did that land? That would land in January, standalone bill, plus a 20% increase, approximately, lifetime, plus a new step up. Then hazard pay, January bill. FPUC, retroactive to July at $600 a week. Joe Biden promises. CDC grant, EIDL grant, 2 of them. And all that beautiful, delicious stuff like rent, food, and all those other things that, seem so obvious to do. But these people have not had anything obvious taken care of for months. It's time to really sort of wake up very clearly. So if you're watching this video, you need to take the video and tag the people that support the propositions of this video, which are Holly, at Holly M.O. from Missouri, at Bernie Sanders, at AOC, at Elizabeth Warren. You need to tag the people that support the movement for the stimulus check. And then, and the broadcasters that are covering it, like Kelly CNBC. Tell her, hey, there's that kid at LALATE. He's the one that's championing the stimulus check louder than anyone else. Book him on the show. You need to tag the people who are on the fence, like McConnell and his communications director and his press secretary. You need to tag those people. Then you need to also tag the detractors as well. Meantime, what's going on with your states? What's going on with those states? Well, more states are sending out stimulus checks. More states are sending out rent stimulus. More states are sending out utility stimulus. It's literally going around the corner. Why? Because December 15th is around the corner. That's generally the date at which the states have got to use or lose the money, return it. So the money they're using still is not someone else's, it's not, their money, it's someone else's money. And ultimately, these programs won't be around very longer. Cities like Houston, Atlanta, got new rent grant programs. City of New York, State of New York, Nashville, Harrisburg, all brand new. Then stimulus checks going out from states like New Mexico and Colorado. So these things are very, very new, and you ultimately need to understand that you got to get them while they're there. Orange County for Florida, for example, had one for a stimulus check, then it was gone away. Then had it again, then it went away. Then it's back again. Ultimately, that's not going to happen indefinitely. Got to grab it when it's there. If you've looked for the use or lose of money, this money from CARES Act 1 grants, and you can't find it, you've looked at your city, your county, your state, your housing authority, your county housing authority, you've watched Purple Power Live, which comes up right after this broadcast at about 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. You have watched Purple, which is at 3 o'clock on the show every day, the tape show, and you've done want everything that's covered in those videos, you still can't find it, then you need to reach out to a volunteer. The volunteers are mentioned in the pinned comment to this video and in the pinned comment in the corner of this video. It's at news.la.com. They're incredible salts of the earth, and they're working around the clock to volunteer and help you. Ultimately, treat them with respect. They're getting 30, 40, 50 requests a day. They're doing $400 or $500 requests a week. They're doing a lot of volunteer work because they're here to help you. And ultimately, you need to work with them, not against them. Finally, what's important to understand is that this money that's being given by your states, more will be coming, and more things from your states will be coming, and they'll come very quickly but won't be around very long. But the other great news is that nonprofit organizations across the country are providing relief for rent, for food, and utilities. That'll be covered on the video right after this. So with that, join me on Purple Power coming up right after this. And then join me tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard, Eastern Standard Time for Early Mornings LA. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.